Hi, welcome to Flosstube number 3. Today is Saturday, April 18th, and my name is Anna, and I'm sitting here on my dining room and I wanted to share with you my progress and I have a finished project. I wanted to show you a couple of all these projects that I finished in the past, but I think you could enjoy, and my plans for the future. So let's start. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing great. I think this is week 4 or 5 of the quarantine. So we are here at home in Miami, South Florida. Today is a sunny day. It was raining just a few minutes ago, but it was just maybe a 5-minute storm. So nothing major, and right now it's sunny again. So let me show you what I've been doing with cross stitching. I finished this project. This is the Be a Light to the World from Dimensions. Last time I showed this project, I had completed the 3 jars, but I needed to work more on the background. And let me tell you, that background really took a long time. More, I would say, more than it took me to work on the jars. Maybe because it was a little bit repetitive and I was really ready to finish it. I wanted to finish it, and so it took me longer. So let me show you. This is a Dimensions kit. I bought it at Michael's. It's small, it's 7 by 5. And I used everything that came with the kit. The Ada fabric, the flosses, everything. That's all. I recommend it. The only thing that I would say is that the fabric is very stiff, so it was kind of hard on my hands. I would end up with a little bit of pain in my fingers just from stitching on it. A viewer had recommended to use a hot iron to iron, but I didn't do that. I was about to complete it, so I pushed through. In terms of finishing, I bought this frame. I had this frame from before, from the dollar store, so I paid only $1. And it's nice, it's silver, very simple. But when I tried, it was too small, too close to the borders. I would like for some of this blue on the outside to show. So I think I'm gonna look for a frame a little bit larger, and this is going into my daughter's bedroom, so I hope to finish it soon and be able to hang it on her walls. So that's the project that I completed. Very happy to have completed it. And now let me show you some of the oldies that I told you about. They're both Christmas patterns. This one says Home Sweet Home, and it's a banner. It's also a kit, and everything came as part of a kit. The fabric, the little metal hanger with a heart on top, and even the floss to make your little tassel at the bottom. The only thing that I'm missing is here at the bottom. I'm supposed to embroider or to do in cross stitch the name of my family. So let me show you the cover of the pattern. So this is it. So you see here at the bottom they have the Shellabers. It's the last name. It's the last name that they used. So very quick and cute pattern. We always hang it during Christmas. It's a happy pattern, very colorful. So that's the first one that I wanted to show you, and the second one is also a banner. This time it's a happy cat, a cat with his Santa hat, a little blue bird, and it says peace at the bottom. So this kit is in plastic canvas, brown plastic canvas. This time was from Walmart, very inexpensive, as you can see. $2.96, and it came with everything that you needed, with the exception of the little branch, this little stick that I found on my backyard, and this little cord that I use here on the top. So everything else, the felt, the flosses, and the plastic canvas came included. So let me show you the back. This is very simple. I don't remember if I cut this here at the bottom. You see these little cuts? I don't remember if I did that with my scissors or if it came already cut, pre-cut. But anyway, very easy, very, even the little star like, and then you just glue the finished piece to the felt. And let me see if I have, no, I don't. Okay, so those are the two older projects that I wanted to show you. Very small, cute ornaments for Christmas. So in terms of plants, I had mentioned in my previous Flosstube that I wanted to make this little small project. This one says love, this one is some beautiful flowers, and this one says home. So there's three, and they came with a small piece of white Ada, 14 count Ada. But I don't think I want to do them separately, but rather I want to stitch them all together. So maybe put the flowers in the middle and do home, flowers, love, or vice versa. I'm not sure how I'm going to lay them out, but something like that. And again, the Ada was white. So that brings me along with my next update. I've been playing a little bit with reed dies. I follow the video from Priscilla and Chelsea. They have a wonderful video where they teach you to dye your fabrics, your own fabrics. So following her directions, I made my first attempt at dyeing fabric. So this was a white fabric, and I just used this royal blue color, and this is the beautiful color that came out from that. I have a second piece that I put together, you know, I dyed them together in the same container. However, this one was not a white, but rather was like a crude, a light beige color. So when I applied the blue, I got a different tonality. But still a pretty, it reminds me of blue jeans, right? So that type of color versus this that is a deeper blue. Then I used the red, and this fabric came out kind of pink. So I was expecting a very deeper, really red, something closer to the bottom of this cherry red. However, I believe this fabric is not cotton. It's some other material, some sort of polyester. So it really did not absorb the color as I wanted it to. So it's kind of a light pink. And I also did another one that was fully 100% cotton, this one that I bought at Walmart, and that one came out better. I don't have it with me because it's drying in my laundry room. But what would happen with that is that it had some patches of white where you could actually see the white fabric. So I didn't do it, you know, correct. Even though I followed the instructions, there were some spots in the fabric that were still white. So what I did is, after it was dry and I confirmed that I didn't like the results, I wet it again, because that's part of the instruction. You wet your fabric, and I had leftover dye from the day before, so I redid it. So right now it's hanging to dry in my laundry room, and that one really turned out a lot better, a richer red, a deeper red. that's my dryer. Sorry about that. And I wanted to test mixing the colors. So I had red and blue, and I wanted to get a nice purple. So what I did is I took some of the red dye and I added blue, because I thought if I did it the other way around, starting with the blue and then adding the red, it would take a lot of red to really change the blue. I don't know, I don't know if there's any science behind that, but I thought, let me start with the lighter color, so the red, and then add the blue and try to get the purple. So that's what I did. And I dyed these little pieces of fabric. These are the small pieces of fabric that came in these little kits. So I like the purple. Actually, purple is my favorite color, and I think I like how this turned out. Okay, so that was my test dyeing fabrics. I'm gonna continue to experiment. I had dyed before, but never using this liquid dye. I had dye using powder, and this is an example. Let me show you this side. This is a motif or a design that I created, inspired in some Peruvian textiles. Talking about the Incas and the Paracas and the Chimus. So these are ancient cultures that lived in Peru before it was Peru, right? Before the Spaniards came and colonized Peru. So these are some of the motifs that you can find in some of those fabrics. But what I really wanted to show you is the fabric. So this used to be a white fabric, and I added some blue, and this is blue and yellow, I believe, and it came out this kind of minty green. So right now it's not fully finished. You can see it. I want to do something to actually attach it to this planner, but just wanted to show. So this was my first attempt at dyeing fabric, and what you saw before with the blue and red has been my second. So I'm very new at this, but I really enjoyed the process, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun mixing the color, a lot of fun seeing how the different fabrics took on the dyes differently. So it's all pretty interesting. Now I wanted to show you my other plan. So this is a pattern from Candamar Designs. The designer is Janet Cruzcamp, and this is an embellished cross stitch. The name of the design is the Blossom Shop. So let me show you. So it's basically a flower shop, right? And what's interesting about this is that the fabric is printed, right? So instead of starting with your white or color fabric, this one is pre-printed. And what I liked about this is that most of it needs to be cross stitch. So let me show you here in the design again. So all these tiered piece of furniture, I guess, with the pots and the plants and the bird houses, this chair, all of these flowers inside the shop, the flowers going over the door, and here on the top, everything, all of that is stitch. The only thing that is not stitch is the doors, the actual doors. These two green doors are not stitched. Same with the floor and the grass. So some of the grass, what you see here, you stitch. These stones also are cross stitch, and all of the flowers again, and the wicked chair So there's a lot of stitching, and I think it's gonna be very pretty. So the floss came all together like in a braid. So I spent about an hour or so yesterday organizing the floss. It came with this floss organizer. It's made out of cardboard. So what I did is, after I had separated all the colors and figured out which one was which, but there were some colors that were very similar, then I had my doubts if I was selecting or picking the correct one. But after I did my best, I put them in the thread organizer, and they're ready to go. So this is the project that I'll start next. The colors are very nice. They're kind of pastel, and some of them, like this group. Let's see if I can get them. Yeah, these greens are the gray, this gold. They reminded me a little bit about the colors that I've seen in samplers. I have never stitched a sampler in my life, but when I see them in the other Flosstube videos, they're really lovely. So at some point, I'm gonna stitch a sampler too. So I like that some of the colors in this project remind me of those antique colors. What I don't like about these kits is that they don't include the number for the DMCs, right? So the numbers, if you could see, they start on 6038 and they go all the way to 6327. But these are random numbers that the company that made this has assigned to this floss. So they're not associated, or if let's say I run out of one of these colors, I couldn't find easily, at least, their match with DMCs. So I wish they would include that in case, you really like a color. So, oh, you know what? I want to use that in another project, that they give you that conversion so that you can easily identify, okay, this brown that for Kandamar Designs is 6100 is such number in DMC. So just a little improvement that I think every designer should always include the conversions to DMC or to Anchor, to any of the really the brands, the common brands, to make it easier on the stitchers. So that's just a little wish list. So those are my projects, really, my plans. So stitch on the little ones. And these, by the way, are from Mary and Company. I bought this, Studio 18 Mary and Company. I bought this long time ago. I don't remember if it was at Michael's or Joanne Fabrics. I've had them for a while, and now I find them that the words really are very appropriate for this new life that we're living, where we're at home and where we need love. So I've seen all those wonderful patterns that the designers have been sharing on the Be Well and Stitch thread in Instagram, and I think they're amazing. So I wanted to start one of them, but then I remember that I had this, and I said, well, let me use the one from my stash first. Let me use them instead of having them sit there. And these kits, they're very nice. They come with the floss and with this black hoop, but I don't think I'm gonna use the black hoop. Like I said, I'm gonna stitch them all together in one rectangle. Yes, in a rectangle, and frame them or do a little pillow, depending on the size. So those are my plans. I show you this, right? And again, it's inspired by patterns by motifs from Peruvian textiles. And I'm talking Peruvian textiles before the Spaniards arrived to Peru. Peru had a very rich culture using ceramics and textiles, and their designs are very unique. So for example, these are cats, these are pelicans, and these here on the top and the bottom are like waves in the sea. So I've always been attracted by those type of designs. So this kind of little pattern I created for myself. I don't know if anyone else would be interested in stitching something like this, but I was inspired again by the Peruvian textiles and by the samplers, right? So to me, look kind of like a sampler. So that was my first design, and then my second design, again inspired in the Peruvian culture, is here in the back. Oy, I lost an egg. So this is inspired in, again, something from Peru that is called el torito de Pucará, or the Pucará bull, which is basically they're usually made out of ceramic, and they usually make two, and they put them on the houses as a good luck charm. So I have always liked the toritos, the little bulls of Pucará, and I wanted to stitch one, and I was looking for one. I couldn't find one, so I made this. I designed this by myself. There it is. So it's his profile, right? And then to finish it, I added some pom-poms at the bottom. So let me know what you think about it, if you like it, if this is something that you think someone else would like to stitch. I have an Etsy shop, but right now the only thing that I have are crochet patterns. I love the crochet, but I've been thinking about adding some of my cross stitch patterns. Again, so far I'm the only one that have stitched them. I enjoy them a lot, but they're, so let me know your opinion. Let me know if you like them. Let me know if you think that if someone else would like to stitch them. I would love to hear your opinion. And I think that's it for today. It's just a short video. Just wanted to share with you some of the things that I've been up to. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Subscribe if you like the content that I'm sharing with you. Share your comments, your recommendations. I would love to hear. I'm so happy when I get a comment from you. So please keep them coming. And that's it. I'll see you soon. Take care and be safe.